All right, Olivia, it's your show.
Hello and welcome. Happy New Year, guys. I'm Olivia Nicholson, and I helped facilitate this devised piece of work with Andrew Billiter. Um, Gosh, I'm so excited to have all of our families and friends here. Before we begin, I just want to acknowledge and honor the native peoples of the Potawatomi tribe. Evanston is inhabiting their land, so we want to thank them. So it's New Year's, and I think we've been spending about 2 months-ish on this piece of work, and I'm so excited that everyone has gotten to see it. We can start by having our cast and crew introduce themselves and the Evanston theater that they participate in.
I will call people out so you can introduce yourselves. The first person is Miss Kokonis.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kokonis, and I'm from Mudlark Theater.
Miss Beatty. Carmia.
Carmia, for some reason we're not hearing you.
No.
I'll move
you
on
guys
and
hear
come
me
back. Yes, we can
now?
hear you now.
Okay. Sorry, the headphones I'm using, they were not working. Carmia Beatty is my name, and I've kind of grown up doing Mudlark Theater as well.
Next is Karan Walker.
Hello, I'm Karan Walker. I do Mudlark. No, I'm just playing. No, wait, that's serious. I'm just used to playing. All right.
Thank you. Matthias.
I'm Matthias Cruz.
Matthias.
And, yeah, you're all good. And I do Actors Gym.
Moksha.
Hi, I'm Moksha, and I do Piffin.
Did I miss anyone? Olivia.
That's everyone. Andrew, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Andrew. In my day job, I'm the artistic director of Mudlark Theater. So it was really cool to get to work with, as you heard, people from these different other theater companies, including Actors Gym, which I did. I mean, I just pieced it together, Matthias, that I do recognize you from Actors Gym, from the hallway. That's crazy.
So
it makes sense because you did all those incredible sports videos for your intro. I want to do a whole movie that's just Matthias doing sports follies because it's amazing.
And we also still have Tim Rose on the panel.
I'm here. Hey there. Hey, Karan. Amazing work, brother. Fleetwood Jourdain Theater.
thank you. Tim has been our project overseer, and he's so great. So I'm so happy to have him around.
Thank you.
So a question that we've got is to discuss the writing process. So this is a devised piece of art. So the process has been crazy. I'd love to hear from our cast. What has been the process been like for you guys?
Well, it was kind of just like, it was basically someone would throw out an idea. Most of the time it'd be like Olivia or Andrew. And then we'd literally just make things. Like whatever was in our head at the moment, like however we were feeling, we would just like do scenes mostly on the fly. And then like eventually we kind of just wrote out the ones that we really liked and that were good.
Anyone else?
Yeah, it was kind of like it was the process, right? That was the question, or did I just make that up? Okay.
Yeah,
the process, it was kind of like we would come and it would just be like, what's on your mind, guys? And I would say something completely random and incoherent with what this is supposed to be about. And somehow that would make it into the show. And thank you for letting me talk.
Every time. Yes, so the process was we would either offer an activity, a sort of game-like structure or an improv structure for them to play with. And a lot of our material, the way that we started, was just conversations. It was so great because, I mean, these are some of the most brilliant people I've literally ever met. So why don't we talk about...
Can I just, while we're on the writing, can I just throw out a shout out to Amanda Thorsberg, whose last name I somehow forgot and then renamed for the credits. I already went in and fixed it, and I'll re-upload it with, anyway, Amanda Thorsberg, amazing person, was our script supervisor. She's a freshman in college, but not able to like go to campus, and she's with Piven as well. And she would take the do transcripts from the videos that we shot of each other doing the scenes, and did very, very like hands-off crafting of those into scripts, and it just did a beautiful job with that in a way that completely left the deviser's intent intact, and then added little cool things that kind of enhanced. Sorry, I'll stop talking.
No, she was brilliant and totally made our work possible. So thank you, Amanda. The devising and the rehearsing was sort of different, especially since the pandemic has been sort of the coloring of this work. I want to hear your guys' experience on devising the work together, socially distanced, and then moving on to Zoom and rehearsing that way.
I can answer this question. Can you guys hear me good? Well, all right. So I think we were very lucky, very fortunate to be able to start devising things in person, because I know everything's kind of cold when we're on Zoom, and like you'll wait and no one knows when to jump in and everything. So I think it would have been really difficult to come up with the ideas that we came up with just from being on Zoom. But when we're in person, it was very collaborative, and I really appreciated that, if that makes sense.
Totally. I felt that as well. Carmia, go ahead.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I feel like it was really fun. When we were in person, we had a lot of fun, and even over Zoom, we found ways to make it fun. Sometimes I feel like it was really hard because just doing theater over, a Zoom is really hard, but I don't know. It was just like, I think that like going off of what Matthias said, it definitely would have been different if we hadn't started off in person, because we created those, bonds and relationships and all those ideas. And so if we hadn't done that, we probably wouldn't like have had all the stuff that we have now, I would say.
Certainly. I would love to hear also Moksha and Alethia's opinions on our rehearsal process.
I liked it. I was obsessed. It was so nice when we were in person to like have something to do that was still safe and like was fun, and like you got to be with people you knew and that you like cared about. And even when it was on Zoom, it was always just nice to like see people who like aren't my family, even if it is on my screen. Like it's different from school because you're like actively like engaging with them. I mean, I always liked it. It was great.
Yeah, I thought it was super fun because, like, obviously doing theater over Zoom is really hard and it's not ideal. But even when we were doing it, it didn't really feel like a lot of work. Like it just felt like I was hanging out with my friends, which was super duper nice.
Oh my gosh, yes. We laughed so hard.
Amanda, I'm sorry. I love you.
Amanda. Amanda, hi, would you like to introduce yourselves to our audience?
Sure. There we go. I'm Amanda Thurk. I am the script supervisor, as Andrew said. I'm with Piven, and I'm also just happy to be here.
Oh my gosh, Amanda has really been like our glue. She makes our entire rehearsal process so much fun. She
Just a ray of light.
seriously.
Everything from like keeping it going on Zoom with her positivity to also like days where she led a warm up that was just like so fun and silly. Remember we had to like follow her as the leader? Oh my god.
Yes, she also introduced to us this devising work, which is you take a story from your childhood or just something part of your culture and share it with each other. And we turn that into a way for us to break apart the stories and introduce more things and collaborate with each other, which was one of my favorite parts. So I'm excited to have you here with us too. One of the questions that we have is, how was the cast selected? So
that's the question for you and me, Olivia.
yes, so it is.
and a little bit Piven, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it was, we started by asking ourselves like what kind of young adults we wanted, everything from age group to identity and background. And so we, of course, wanted to collaborate with all of these different Evanston theaters and getting kids from there. And I guess we decided to have as much diversity as possible, which is really important to us.
I really looked to Olivia when we were choosing people because, you know, having finished high school a lot more recently than I did, she just not only knew the talent of people, but kind of knew the personalities a little bit and could imagine the way that different people would gel with each other. So I think we nailed it. I mean,
Oh my God,
this group of 5, like the personalities cover such a perfect spectrum of like human beings, like everything from like Moksha style to like Karan always sort of reminding you, at least for me, Karan always reminded me that like, you know, not to take myself too seriously when I was trying to like set up all this stuff. And I mean, that quality just feeds so many of the stuff in the movie, so many of the pieces, where like in that final one where everyone's doing serious stories and then he just like both undercuts it and elevates it at the same time. So, and then yeah, I mean, just and it was some people I've worked with, some people I haven't, so it was just such a cool thing to see this group become an entity, and to the point that we'd rehearse in the park, we'd all rehearse, and then I'd be like, okay, well, that's time. I don't ever like to go over the time that I say, so I'd leave. But like, they would stay and just keep talking to each other in the park.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that happened. I was like, okay, something's working.
Oh my gosh. The first time I saw them all like leaving together was just such a good heartwarming moment. I was like, oh, we did it. We found the right people. Which is just such a good feeling. This is such a juicy question because I don't think we've ever really talked about it with our actors even. The question that we have also is, had I personally worked with these actors before the virus, and the answer is yes. I think that's definitely a huge part of my choice for each actor. Think I've been part of the high school's production with each and every one of the actors at ETHS. And I had spent a lot of time backstage with Moksha, and she just gives me such good vibes and has such an immaculate way of like kind of like calming everyone down and like providing such great like nuggets of like just laughter and craziness, and I absolutely adore her. And Alethea, I had been in a few productions with, and over the summer, I had this moment with her backstage where we would just like talk. And I'm so inspired by her and like everything that she says and does and talks about. And I just had to have her. I adore Matthias. I had directed him before. He's just like beyond cool and has the most amazing background and like things to say, and I always want to understand him more and more, and this process has been so amazing. And I had met Karan's mother before. She was working on a production I had done with Tim Rose, and his mother was so excited for me to get to know him, and he came in one day out of rehearsal, and ever since then I was like, I need to do something with him. He is genius. I mean, everyone in the cast can agree with me. He is genius. He is so funny. He says the best things, and he's just such a presence to be around. I love you. And I have known Carmia, I mean, for a lot of my life, probably for a really long time.
I think
And
she was 9 or 8 for me.
yeah, and I mean, I don't even remember, but seriously, for most of my life. And she is such a leader. And I knew that I wanted her to be part of the cast because since it is a devised piece of work, I know that she'll be so good in leading when there are silences and knowing what to add to it, what we should bring out of each person. And I just admire her so much too. So yeah. So we can start talking about other, I guess somebody wants to know what other productions you guys have been a part of. If you guys want to talk about Piven, Actors Gym, Fleetwood Jourdain, Mudlark, give yourself a little spiel. Moksha, why don't we start with you?
Okay. So generally I'm not a big actor. So at the high school, I primarily do stage crew. So I work behind the scenes, and in stage crew, I am the head of props, or I would have been like without Corona. So I would have been the head of props this year, and I kind of was last year. I also was in the high school's production of Anne Frank, and I directed one of the short plays freshman year. Yeah, that's primarily it. I did Piven for a few years when I was a bit younger, but I have not found the time to get back to that.
Moksha also does visual art and poetry, which was a huge just inspiration for the rest of the process. And she sort of handmade and edited that 1-minute piece about her hands, which kind of felt like multimedia, mixed media art to me.
Alethea?
Stop talking.
Yeah, I do writer showcase at the high school, and I also have done the Frosh Softs the past 2 years, but I'm too old for that now. And I do summer Shakespeare at Mudlark, and I did Mudlark during the normal season when I was younger too.
I did, yeah, oh yeah, okay, just making sure I was unmuted. I did Mudlark when I was a little baby. And I don't know, I did a few shows with Mudlark just when I was a little baby, you know. And so it's just inside of me. Yeah, and my mother's reminding me of some other production I did. I'm just a world famous actor. Been around the block, okay? No.
Carmia.
I started Mudlark when I was 9, I think 8 maybe. So I did that up until probably my 8th grade or freshman year. And then I started in Yamo at the high school. I've been doing that all 4 years. I'm now directing Yamo. It's a lot. We're in the middle of a lot. So I don't have any answers on that if anyone has any questions about that. And then I also did the musical for the high school last year, and I was cast in the past musical this year, and it got canceled, along with everything else. So that's it.
Matthias.
Yeah, so I started doing Actors Gym, I think, when I was in 5th grade. And I've been in so many like productions there. I don't even know how many. But at the high school, I've done Yamo the past 2 years, Short Play Festival, the radio show, and Frank. And I was in Legally Blonde. So that's what I've done.
Cool. So we should talk about the time frame for this project and how we kind of timed out and how this all worked out and came to be tonight. Andrew, would you like to shed some light on that?
We were the deadline kept moving because we got a slightly later start. Like it was more early fall than late summer because of just how long it took to get everybody on board and get everything organized. Then we had a long period where we were planning a stage show and that didn't happen. So there's actually a bunch of material that's just as good, if not better, than some of the stuff that you saw in the movie that's like on the cutting room floor because it wouldn't work as a movie. So we were gearing up to like have our tech week for that show. And then a number of factors, but suffice it to say, we lost that window, and by the time we would have been able to get back, it would have been too cold, and cases were so rampant and just skyrocketing in November. So it was like, if we'd done the show, we would have done it outdoors for an audience of like 12, standing really, really far apart from each other and really far from the actors. So yeah, we ended up turning it into a movie. And then I guess we had about 2.5 months to make this movie, right? I mean,
yeah, just about.
Yeah. So yeah. And I did most of that editing between December 27th and now. What day is today? The 31st. And I never want to put myself through that again, but it was so worth it. And I've just been like living and breathing all of the just the richness of the material, the performance of this cast. It was like getting to spend more time with them, which is like, been one of the bright spots for me in a really difficult year. And just marveling at their talent and their joy and their fearlessness. So it was it's been quite a 4 days. And then it almost wouldn't upload to YouTube, so it was just terrifying.
It's very crazy, but
too much information there. I'm great and it's perfect and I'm a pro.
So we have a fun question, which is who's planning on continuing their acting into college? And are you interested in going or not?
Wait, can we just
we just say goodbye to Carmia?
Yes, it looks like Carmia has to leave. So
Yes. I'll answer this question really quick.
give us a brief answer.
So I wanna be a doctor. Even though I love acting very much. But I might do, a club sounds so theatery, even though I do love theater. But I do want to find some way to act in college. Yeah, I probably will find a way to perform in some way, if not direct, because I love directing a lot. But I am planning on being a doctor one day and doing surgery. So that is it. And I'm going to leave because I have to go. But thank you, everyone, for watching. And I love you all. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So anyone else? College? I know it's also January, so the college talk is crazy, but tell me about your aspirations. Anyone else?
Yeah. I don't want to do acting professionally like Carmia. I want to be a therapist, but I also want to like try to keep doing it extracurricularly just so I can still have it because it's something that I really like doing and I'm passionate about it. So
I'm not so sure yet. I'm a junior. But I don't want to go into it professionally acting. I do want to possibly minor in some form of directing. I want to major in agricultural sciences. So far, right as of now, I want to, but yeah.
Tias?
So I'm also a junior. There's a lot of college talk going on right now, so I'm looking into things, figuring out what I want to do. But I mean, if someone accepted me, I'd go to school for theater. I find it fun. I enjoy it, but we'll see what happens, you know.
I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. So many options.
So many options.
I'll keep you updated.
Good. CJ, let us know.
Yeah, I've been telling you guys a lie. I'm actually 70 years old. Yeah, I was just letting you know that I've been telling you guys a lie this whole time. I'm living a double life. I'm actually 7,300 years old and I've lived multiple lives. So I'm just doing this for absolutely no reason. So you're welcome for my presence.
We're so thankful for it.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Acting, I don't know. I just kind of do things. So I feel the same way like Matthias. If I get accepted into some school for theater, I'm going. And I will be the worst, but I will still do it.
It'll be phenomenal. That makes a lot of sense for this group. I think theater is such an applicable skill. You know, it's public speaking, it's like sharing yourself and sharing others, which is much needed, and empathy is much needed. So it kind of goes with everyone's future dreams and what they want to do. So even if they're not planning to go on to it, I'm sure they'll use the skills for sure. For the people who have participated in Mudlark, one of the questions or one of the inquiries is like, if they're not familiar with Mudlark, if they want to talk about their experiences or what they think Mudlark is to them, go ahead. I can start. I think I started doing Mudlark when I was 9. So that's pretty much a decade, I think, of being a part of the community, which is crazy. If that doesn't make Andrew feel old, I don't know what will.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? But yeah, I was in, my first show was directed by Andrew. And to me, Mudlark is an amazing community for students or just any child to get some kind of acting training in a variety of things. It's crazy. They do anything from, in the summer programs, they have giant puppet crafting, and you can do audition work with them, and as well as plays. And the productions are always amazing, and I would recommend it to anyone. It also carries into high school too, so it's a pretty like cool thing because you can start young and keep it going until you're in high school. I mean, even until college, because I'm still working with them and seeing them. So yeah, that's what Mudlark is to me.
I haven't been participating in Mudlark in quite a while, but I can still say what Mudlark is to me. Mudlark is really it's just representative of acting to me, because really when I think of acting, my brain just naturally compartmentalizes it down to Mudlark, because that's where I did that. And I did a lot of it, just a lot. I was always a lot. And Mudlark was a perfect home for that. It's just like, it just represents beginning and finding yourself within a space with people who are all interested in the same things, whether that just be your goofy youngin who doesn't know how to get that energy out or whatever. Mudlark is just like, it's just a little bubble. Everybody likes to be in a little bubble.
I'd love to hear the same for other programs that we are partnering with, Fleet Jourdain and also Piven. Amanda and Moksha, if you'd like to talk about Piven, that would be awesome.
For me, I did a lot of like classes and workshops there. I never really did something consistent. I would just do like a class here or there. One year I did the high school conservatory. But to me, Piven was a place that was like, it was just fun. I learned so much about acting. I feel like I like evolved when I did Piven classes. I kind of just took it as like a place where I was like comfortable and having fun, and I also learning so much about acting, which was nice.
Sorry, my microphone is moody today. I can speak on behalf of Piven. I have been a part of Piven for a while. I've done performance project with them, and I've also done young people's company, and it's a lot of story theater and improv, which is something that I can appreciate, because when I'm working on other projects with other theaters, it's not something that I see a lot of other places, but it's something that can definitely that like helps me contribute a lot to other groups. And so it's a different kind of theater, but it's just as knowledgeable and it's just as helpful as any other theater here.
Evanston Theater is so impressive. It's crazy.
I will say about sort of the Mudlark and Piven worlds of youth theater. I'm a lifelong Piven theater goer. I've been with Mudlark now for 11 years. I was seeing Piven productions that friends and peers were in when I was in high school, and just kind of fell in love with the story theater style. And also, it's been really interesting to build a different kind of youth theater institution in the same city, because we have like, Piven does everything that Amanda was describing in terms of like, there's methodologies for content creation, for acting, for even how to break down the meaning of a line. And Mudlark is about sort of taking kids where they are and saying, well, how can I use the strengths or the personality of this individual right now where they are in their growth, and sort of harness that, leverage that into something spectacular to watch that speaks to their moment in life. So it's like, our focus is kind of like, I don't know, putting on the best show we possibly can with the kids that we have right now, and bringing out like their most wonderful qualities. And Piven is almost more like a lifelong philosophy of theater that you get into really young and grow with. They're both good.
I would love to hear how this project has benefited you, moments that you will miss, things that you loved, funny moments, anything good.
Oh, sorry, Alethea, you can speak.
You're good, don't worry. I think I'm gonna miss the most just like, well, first I think it's benefited me just because it's made me realize that there are a lot of situations that I've been in where I'm like, oh man, I feel like I'm the only one feeling this, but I'm not, because we can have a conversation about it and we can make a scene about it, and it's super cool. And I also am just gonna miss just like having conversations and just talking and like meeting Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 every day.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm just gonna miss seeing everyone all the time. It just brought like so much warmth during COVID, because like everything sucks, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday you would go, and Saturday you would go see your friends and like work, but it's not really work because you're having so much fun. And oh my God, I love you, Amanda. And it's just it was just it was just such a place of like happiness that it was awesome.
What I really liked and I felt like I benefited from was, I feel it was such like a small group, and there was so much collaboration where like everyone could say someone could say something and everyone would agree, and we all, everyone could tell their own stories and have like an equal part and an equal voice in it. And I thought that was really cool because I've just been on a lot of plays recently where some people have bigger parts and some people have smaller parts, but I felt like we were just all in it together. We were all doing it together, and I really enjoyed that.
Hey, I want to make sure before we leave, and I know we're going to be on a short time now, that Nathan Norman from the city of Evanston in the youth and young adult division, it was so instrumental in making this possible. He was on board immediately. Audrey Thompson is his supervisor. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows about him, his efforts to make sure that we were able to, in some way, compensate modestly, but all the performers that were involved, including grant money from the Illinois Arts Council and the Evanston Arts Council as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Was the original question how we benefited from the project?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really, well, I do know. I know exactly. I just really enjoyed being out and about and blessing people with my strange presence, because it's very peculiar, and I haven't gotten to witness, people's bewilderment in a long time. So that was just my own little blessing that you all gave to me. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So I guess let's end on, since it is New Year's, how do you think that this project reflects the year?
It was strange.
Yes, everything from the process to the actual show. Different and amazing. What do you guys think?
I just want to say that I think it was like this specific group of actors, but they were like everything that I was feeling in like human forms. Like they brought to life everything that everyone was thinking and everyone was saying, and they contributed so much. And it was just nice to see like real emotion and real concern and just real everything like brought to life because and through them.
Yes. When asked about this show, I say that it perfectly sums up all of the good that we've gleaned from the year. It's the few laughs that we forgot and all the clarity that we found. Um, this project has truly been a huge relief during this time and a source of true connection and honesty that has been such a saving grace. So I thank you all, and I thank our participants for coming to hear and see the show. Thank you so much. Thank you, Daisy, for making this happen for us. Even though we're young, technology is hard to navigate. So thank you so much. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome, brother. Thank you, my man.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye, bye. Bye, Daisy.
Ooh.
Beautiful work, Daisy. Thank you so much.